Every slip, every punch had purpose. Nothing wasted, nothing random. Every run through the mountains of Mexico, every round on the bag, every quiet moment of shadowboxing was building something we may never see again. This is how Salvador Sanchez really trained, the discipline, the genius, and the legend that left too soon. Welcome to Back to Boxing. Salvador Sanchez Narvaez was born on January 26, 1959 in Santiago Tianguistenco, a small town southwest of Mexico City. He grew up in a humble household, the son of Felipe Sanchez and Maria Luisa Narvaez, where money was tight and hard work was a way of life. At 13, Salvador discovered boxing. It wasn't part of some grand plan, it was simply a chance. In Mexico during that era, boxing offered something rare, an escape, a sense of hope, a way to rewrite your future. He began training at a small local gym, and almost instantly, people noticed something special. His timing, sense of distance, and natural athleticism made him stand out from day one. What's truly remarkable is how quickly he rose through the ranks. After only 9 amateur fights, just 9, he decided to turn professional. For context, most fighters go through 50 to 100 amateur bouts before even thinking about going pro. But on May 4th, 1975, at just 16 years old, Salvador Sanchez made his professional debut against Al Gardino and stopped him in the 3rd round. From there, he went on an incredible tear, winning his first 18 fights, 17 of them by knockout. And this wasn't a padded record. Sanchez fought often, sometimes several times a month, constantly sharpening his skills through experience and sheer volume. Then came his first major test. On September 9, 1977, in his 19th fight, Sanchez challenged Antonio Becerra for the vacant Mexican bantamweight title. He lost a close split decision, the only loss of his career. The next year, he faced Juan Escobar and fought to a draw after being knocked down in the 5th round. For many young fighters, those kinds of setbacks can derail everything. But for Sanchez, they became defining moments. He switched management and began training under Enrique Huerta, a decision that changed everything. Huerta recognized that Sanchez had raw power and exceptional instincts but was fighting too much like a brawler. Together, they reshaped his style. Sanchez learned to blend aggression with intelligence, to fight not just with force, but with thought. He soon moved up to featherweight, where his body felt stronger and his skills truly came together. It was in this division that Salvador Sanchez began his ascent toward boxing immortality. Conditioning. Salvador Sanchez's conditioning was truly exceptional, the kind of endurance that defined his fighting style. Those who watched him often noted how he could go through a full 15-round championship bout without showing any visible signs of fatigue. His stamina became one of his most famous weapons, allowing him to maintain relentless pressure deep into fights when his opponents began to fade. This wasn't luck or genetics alone. It was the result of a carefully structured training system. Under the supervision of his physician, Dr. Gilberto Valenzuela, and trainer Cristobal Rosas, Sanchez's conditioning program focused on cardiovascular efficiency and sustained high-intensity effort. His training was tailored to ensure that his recovery time between rounds was far shorter than average. Reports from his team indicated that his heart rate could return close to normal within a minute after a tough round of sparring, a testament to his elite conditioning. Roadwork was the cornerstone of his routine. Every morning at around 5:30 a.m., Sanchez would begin his runs on the dirt roads near his training camp in San Jose Iturbide, Guanajuato. His trainer often followed behind in a car to monitor his pace and consistency. These runs weren't just long-distance jogs. Sanchez incorporated interval sprints, backward running, and lateral movement drills, mimicking the unpredictable rhythm of a boxing match. He also included swimming sessions in his training to strengthen his lungs and shoulders while improving overall endurance. Swimming allowed him to push his cardiovascular limits and recover faster between rounds, all without putting excess strain on his joints. Unlike many fighters who gained weight between bouts, Sanchez maintained peak condition year-round. His discipline allowed him to accept fights on short notice and still perform at an elite level. When in full training camp, Sanchez trained roughly 5 hours per day. His mornings were dedicated to road work and recovery, while his afternoons focused on sparring, bag work, mitt drills, shadowboxing, and technical practice. His camps were run with military-like discipline. He maintained a strict 9 p.m. curfew and rarely broke camp without notifying his team. Every aspect of his conditioning was deliberate, from how long he rested between rounds to how he breathed during training. It wasn't just about building stamina. It was about preparing his body to fight efficiently for 15 rounds at championship pace. That precision and discipline made Salvador Sanchez one of the most complete and enduring fighters of his era. Technical training. While Salvador Sanchez's conditioning was elite, it was his technical mastery that made him one of the most complete fighters of his era. His training blended precision, rhythm, and adaptability, refining every aspect of his craft. Sanchez's balance and footwork were impeccable. His weight was always centered, never off balance or overcommitted. He kept a wide, athletic stance with bent knees, allowing quick movement in any direction. His subtle, rhythmic bounce kept him light and unpredictable, always ready to explode forward, pivot out, or counter instantly. Much of that rhythm came from endless hours on the speed bag and double end bag, sharpening his timing, hand-eye coordination, and reflexes. The heavy bag built his precision and power, throwing long, fluid combinations while focusing on body-head transitions and perfect form. His shadowboxing was just as intense, performed slowly at times to refine movement, and at full speed to simulate real exchanges. Every motion had purpose, nothing was wasted. But it was in sparring where everything came together. Sanchez sparred strategically, with faster fighters to refine timing and stronger ones to test his defense. He was rarely hit clean, using slips, rolls, and forearm blocks to deflect punches and create countering opportunities. His signature move, lifting the lead forearm to shield and then counter instantly, became a nightmare for opponents. Though not a one-punch knockout artist, Sanchez's torque and accuracy gave him real stopping power, earning him 32 knockouts in 44 wins. What truly set him apart, however, was his ring IQ. He could read patterns, adapt mid-fight, and dismantle world-class opponents with calm precision. This fusion of skill, discipline, and intelligence made Salvador Sanchez not just a fighter, but a technical genius inside the ring. Mindset and discipline. Behind Salvador Sanchez's physical gifts and technical mastery was a mindset that set him apart from nearly every fighter of his generation. Even as a young man, Sanchez demonstrated the mental focus and discipline of a seasoned champion. His routine was rigid and unwavering. The 9 p.m. curfew during training camps was never broken. Each morning at 5:30 a.m. he ran consistently, rain or shine, knowing that championships are built in preparation long before the bell rings. Every training session was approached with intent. Heavy bag work, sparring, and pad drills were executed as if they were actual rounds in a title fight. Teammates noted that while others joked or slacked, Sanchez remained completely focused. Mike Tyson once said of him, "If you're a halfway fighter, a decent fighter, you might last the distance. He fights right above the level of the game that he's fighting. He's just above everybody else." This discipline was no accident. Sanchez had the intelligence to study opponents, understand their strengths and weaknesses, and execute game plans with precision. Legendary commentator Larry Merchant noted, "When a champion is as physically talented as this man is, their main opponent is themselves." Sanchez could have relied on natural talent alone, but he pushed constantly to improve. Sugar Ray Leonard described him as one of the few fighters who is able to hurt his opponent and finish them. That instinct to capitalize on openings, combined with calculated aggression, made him deadly in the ring. Sanchez also demonstrated maturity beyond his years. After his only loss and a draw early in his career, he made no excuses. He changed coaches, refined his approach, and returned stronger, showing the ability to learn and adapt from setbacks. His discipline extended beyond the gym. He maintained strong family relationships, stayed connected to his community, and carried himself with humility despite his rapid rise. Mental preparation was as important as physical. During road work and training, Sanchez would visualize upcoming fights in detail, rehearsing combinations, counters, and defensive maneuvers hundreds of times in his mind. By fight night, much of the battle had already been won mentally. allowing him to remain composed, decisive, and efficient inside the ring. This combination of focus, intelligence, and discipline made Salvador Sanchez not only a phenomenal athlete, but also one of the most mentally prepared and complete fighters in boxing history. The tragic end. By the summer of 1982, Salvador Sanchez was at the peak of his powers. Just 3 weeks earlier, he had defended his WBC featherweight title for the 9th time, stopping the young and hungry Azuma Nelson in a brutal war. He was 23 years old, strong, confident, and still improving with every fight. The future seemed limitless. Talks were underway for unification bouts and potential showdowns with legends like Alexis Arguello and Julio Cesar Chavez. Sanchez had become the pride of Mexico, disciplined, respectful, and utterly devoted to his craft. But behind the calm exterior, there were signs that the pressures of fame and the relentless grind of training had begun to take their toll. Friends later said he seemed exhausted after his last training camp, not physically broken, but mentally drained. He had been living like a monk for years, training obsessively, sleeping early, and pushing himself harder than ever. Boxing had consumed nearly every part of his young life. In the early hours of August 12, 1982, Sanchez was driving his Porsche 928 on the highway between Querétaro and San Luis Potosí. What exactly brought him there at 3:30 in the morning remains unclear. Some say he was returning from visiting friends. Others believe he was restless and needed to clear his head. What's known is that his car was traveling at high speed when it collided with a truck, killing him instantly. Mexico woke up to shock and disbelief. A national hero, gone overnight. He was only 23. The country mourned deeply. Tens of thousands attended his funeral in Santiago Tianguistenco, where he was laid to rest. The man who seemed destined for greatness had his story cut short in the blink of an eye. What makes his death even more haunting is the timing. Sanchez was entering what should have been his prime. His final fights showed not decline, but evolution. Sharper defense, smarter tactics, and an almost effortless command of distance. He wasn't fading. He was still getting better. That's what makes his loss so difficult to comprehend. Salvador Sanchez's death wasn't just the end of a career. It was the end of a legend still being written. A story of discipline, humility, and relentless pursuit of perfection that stopped far too soon. Legacy and impact. Even though Salvador Sanchez's time in the ring was brief, his legacy feels eternal. By the age of 23, he had already achieved what most fighters only dream of: a world title, 9 successful defenses, and victories over multiple future Hall of Famers. He wasn't just beating great fighters, he was redefining what greatness looked like. Sanchez defeated Danny Lopez twice, dismantled the feared Wilfredo Gomez, and outclassed the young Juan Laporte and Azuma Nelson, both of whom would go on to become world champions themselves. These weren't easy fights. They were battles against elite competition, yet Sanchez handled them with a calm mastery that made his brilliance look effortless. His blend of patience, timing, and counterpunching intelligence gave him an aura few fighters ever achieve. At a time when Mexican boxing was defined by aggression and brawling, Sanchez brought something different: precision. He fought with the heart of a Mexican warrior and the mind of a technician. His footwork was light, his rhythm unpredictable, and his stamina unmatched. He could adapt to any style, outbox punchers, outfight boxers, and break down opponents without ever losing composure. In the years that followed, his influence spread quietly but powerfully. Trainers and fighters studied his fights not just for entertainment, but for education. His ability to balance defense and offense became a model for how to fight intelligently under pressure. The cardiovascular training methods he developed with Dr. Valenzuela, focusing on heart rate recovery and endurance efficiency, became a standard blueprint for modern conditioning. In 1991, Salvador Sanchez was posthumously inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. A decade later, The Ring magazine ranked him among the greatest fighters of the past 80 years. In 1981, he shared Fighter of the Year honors with Sugar Ray Leonard, a rare recognition that placed him among the sport's most celebrated names. But perhaps his greatest legacy lies in the respect he continues to command. In Santiago Tianguistenco, a statue stands in his honor. His childhood home has been preserved exactly as he left it. a quiet shrine to discipline and excellence. Every year, a mass is held in his memory, attended by fans who weren't even born when he last stepped into the ring. Salvador Sanchez's story reminds us that greatness isn't defined by longevity, but by impact. In just 7 professional years, he accomplished more than most fighters do in a lifetime, not through hype or theatrics, but through mastery, work ethic, and heart. He left behind not just victories, but a philosophy that true greatness comes from the daily commitment